Back pain is one of the most frustrating injuries in golf. It affects over 50% of male golfers and 45% of female golfers, and it can derail your swing, your game, and your confidence. But here's the truth. If you can still swing a club, you can still make a comeback. In this video, I'm going to give you a proven roadmap to reduce pain, restore mobility, and get back to playing your best golf pain-free. And if you want the full guide, you can download the free Back Pain Roadmap PDF right now using the link in the description. Thank you for watching. I am Terrence Thomas, and I help professional and high-level amateurs win more tournaments by eliminating their weaknesses on and off the golf course. By locking in their consistency, they lower their scores when it counts and increase their earnings. My system is a pay for performance, and I guarantee a minimum of 2x on investment for any athlete that I take on. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe, as it helps me bring this content to more golfers like yourself. Let's get started. Part 1. Getting to the root cause of back pain. If you are dealing with back pain, the most important thing you can do is to start with clarity, because the pain you feel isn't always where the problem lives. You could be chasing symptoms for years and never solve the real issue unless you know how to identify the root cause. Step 1. Understand your posture type. There are different posture syndromes that golfers fall into, and each one creates a unique stress pattern on your spine. Some golfers have an anterior pelvic tilt, or the classic S posture, which places excessive pressure on the lower back. Others may have a flat back or posterior tilt, which limits hip movement and increases stiffness. Then you have forward head posture and rounded shoulders that can also disrupt spinal alignment from the top down. If you do not assess your posture, you are missing the first major clue in fixing your back pain. Step 2. Identify muscle imbalances. Back pain is often a downstream effect of muscles that are either too tight and overactive, in other words, they need to be released, or too weak and underactive, or they need to be recruited and strengthened. The most common imbalances in golfers are tight hip flexors and hamstrings, weak glutes and deep core stabilizers, restricted thoracic spine mobility, and underdeveloped scapular control, or in other words, the inability to control the shoulders. Without knowing which muscles to stretch and which to strengthen, you'll stay stuck in the pain compensation loop. Step 3. Assess core conditioning deficits. Core strength is more than just crunches or planks. Your core is a functional system made up of muscles, reflexes, and timing. If your core isn't functioning well, force gets trapped in the lower back instead of being transferred safely through the body. You lose the ability to dissipate torque, which is essential in a rotational sport like golf. This creates internal pressure and stress on the spine, especially during high-speed movements like the downswing. A healthy core system is like a shock absorber. When it's working, you move with ease. When it's not, your back takes the hit. Step 4. Don't overlook organ health and nutritional deficiencies. This is a massively overlooked area in most recovery plans. Digestive health, especially the health of the small and large intestine, can directly affect your spine. This happens when painful organs send their pain into the spine. This is called referred pain. Your organs can become painful from poor nutrient absorption and also from food sensitivity. Anything that inflames the guts can and will cause back pain. If your organs are inflamed or sluggish, the muscles around them will tighten or completely shut down to protect the area. And guess what's nearby? Your spine. This is why addressing organ health and gut inflammation is mandatory if you want long-term solutions to chronic back pain. Here's the bottom line. Getting to the root cause of back pain isn't just about guesswork. It's about asking smarter questions and looking at the whole system. What posture are you in? Which muscles are working too much and which aren't working at all? Is your core absorbing force or trapping it? And is your internal health sabotaging your structural performance? You can download the Back Pain Roadmap by clicking the link in the description. Part 2. Inflammation, the silent saboteur of recovery. Let's talk about a major reason golfers stay stuck in pain even when they're stretching, strengthening, and doing all the right things. It's called inflammation, and if you do not address it, true recovery becomes nearly impossible. Here's why inflammation is a big deal. Inflammation is the body's natural defense system. After injury or stress, inflammation helps with healing, but only in small, controlled doses. Chronic or unresolved inflammation does the opposite. It causes swelling, stiffness, and soreness. It blocks recovery by reducing blood flow and oxygen to the area. It shuts down motor control. This is your body's ability to make coordinated movements, very much needed in the golf swing, forcing your body into protective compensation patterns. And that last part is key. When you are in pain, your nervous system says, protect that area. So your body changes how you move without you even realizing it. You shift your weight differently. You activate your core incorrectly. You avoid certain angles of rotation or extension. These changes start off subtle, but over time, they alter your swing mechanics, reduce your distance and consistency, and it leads to new areas of tension and injury. This is how back pain goes from an episode to a chronic condition. The wrong approach is pushing through the pain. Many golfers make the mistake of trying to stretch out the pain while inflammation is still active. This is like trying to do your taxes when your computer is on fire. Until you put out the fire, the system cannot operate properly. This is why timing matters in your recovery strategy. Here's the solution. Calm the system, then restore the movement. To break the inflammation pain compensation cycle, we must lower the inflammation first, then restore proper movement. Here's how we approach it in the back pain roadmap. Step 1. Use gentle mobilizations, not aggressive stretching. Focus on low intensity movements that promote circulation and nervous system relaxation. Rocking patterns, controlled breathing drills, gentle pelvic tilts, deep diaphragmatic breathing. These movements reduce muscle guarding and send a signal of safety to your nervous system, which lowers pain sensitivity. Inappropriate anti-inflammatory nutrition. You cannot stretch away what your gut is flaring up. Make these shifts. Eliminate inflammatory foods such as refined sugar, seed oils, alcohol, and processed carbohydrates. Increase anti-inflammatory foods, wild salmon, leafy greens, berries, turmeric, ginger, bone broth. Stay hydrated. Dehydration makes inflammation worse. Supplements like omega-3s, magnesium, and curcumin can also help lower systemic inflammation naturally. Sleep is a secret weapon. Sleep is where 90% of tissue regeneration occurs. Poor sleep equals poor healing. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of high quality sleep. Avoid screens and blue light before bed. Keep your sleep space cool and dark. If you are not sleeping, your inflammation stays elevated, no matter how much stretching you do. The next step, stay consistent. Small steps done daily are more powerful than occasional big efforts. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day of the right moves, plus nutrition tweaks, can dramatically reduce inflammation within a couple of weeks and set the stage for a true recovery. The takeaway here is that inflammation isn't just a symptom, it's a barrier to progress. Until you lower inflammation, your body will not allow deep core activation. Your brain will keep guarding the painful area. Your golf swing will feel off no matter how much you work on it. The key is to calm the system first, then rebuild it smarter and stronger. Part 3, corrective exercise. Reboot your body, rebuild your swing. Now that you've begun to reduce inflammation and calm your nervous system, it's time to introduce a powerful tool into your recovery and comeback process: corrective exercise. But here's the thing. Most golfers misunderstand what this actually means. Corrective exercise isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things in the right order so you can heal faster, restore natural movement patterns, and get back to a powerful, pain-free golf swing. Let's break it down. What makes an exercise corrective? A corrective exercise is designed to balance tight and weak muscle groups, reinforce optimal joint alignment, reactivate dormant or underused stabilizers, retrain the nervous system for better control. This means we're not just stretching and strengthening, we're rebuilding movement from the inside out. And when done right, corrective work can restore posture and spinal alignment, improve hip rotation and extension, activate your deep core, get you back to striking the ball with speed and confidence. The problem: doing random exercises without a plan. One of the biggest mistakes golfers make is cherry picking exercises off YouTube or Instagram. It's like trying to fix your golf swing by copying random swing drills from 5 different pros without knowing what your swing actually needs. This is why you need a corrective sequence tailored to your posture type, your movement deficits, and your injury history. Here's how we build corrective programming that works and why it's so effective for golfers with back pain. 1. Mobilize the right joints. The first job is to regain movement in the joints that are supposed to move, mainly in the thoracic spine or mid-back area, hips, and ankles. These joints often become locked up due to sitting, old injuries, or swing compensations. When they cannot move, your lower back ends up doing too much and pain follows. The next step is to stabilize the right areas. Once mobility is restored, you need to stabilize the joints that are supposed to be stable. These are the lumbar spine, pelvis, and scapula or shoulder blades. We do this with deep core activation using drills like lying march or dead bug variations, horse stance development, also known as bird dogs with tension, and glute bridges. These create reflexive stability, meaning your core knows what to do automatically, especially under rotational load, like in your golf swing. The next step, repattern the movement. This is where we rebuild the movement patterns that were lost due to pain or compensation. This includes movements like the hip hinge, any and all rotational drills that contribute to improvement in the golf swing mechanics, weight shift, and lateral stability. Key drills include dowel-assisted hip hinges, lunge stance twists, torso figure eights, and Swiss ball upper body Russian twists. We're retraining the nervous system to use the right muscles at the right time, the same way that you would groove a new feel into your golf swing. The next step is to progress to integrated strength training. Once your patterns are back online, we begin adding load, not for bulk, but for resilience and control. This is the step that bridges the gap between rehab and performance. Smart strength drills for golfers include kettlebell deadlifts, single leg RDLs, kettlebell military presses, and kettlebell wraparounds. These build strength where it counts, in the hips, glutes, obliques, and deep spinal stabilizers. The payoff: as pain decreases and proper function returns, your body will begin to feel more mobile and athletic, more stable and confident at address, more powerful through your golf swing. This is how you go from trying not to hurt to striking it pure again, without flinching, bracing, or hesitating through your golf swing. And here's the best part. You can do most of this with minimal equipment, 15 to 20 minutes a day, 3 to 5 times per week. That's the kind of investment that pays dividends every time you tee it up. Part 4, core conditioning. Build the engine that powers a pain-free swing. Now that your mobility is returning and the foundational movement patterns are starting to groove again, it's time to turn your attention to the true powerhouse of golf performance, your core. But here's the catch. Most golfers think core training means doing crunches or planks and calling it a day. That's not going to cut it, especially if you're dealing with back pain. The core isn't just about abs. It's about how your body transfers and controls force through every single phase of the golf swing. When done correctly, core conditioning becomes the missing link between rehab and full return to performance. What is the core, really? The core is not just your six-pack. The core is a complex, full-body system that's made up of deep abdominal muscles, spinal stabilizers, glutes and hip rotators, your diaphragm and pelvic floor, and even your scapula or shoulder stabilizers, the deep muscles between your shoulder blades. When working together, this system acts like a cylinder of stability, allowing you to rotate with speed, load with confidence, and protect your spine under pressure. But when that system is disrupted by injury, inflammation, poor posture, or weakness, the core cannot absorb or transfer force properly. That's when stress leaks into the lower back. Here are some signs that your core system is dysfunctional. You brace or hold your breath during movement. Your posture collapses under load or during your swing. You feel strain in the lower back during everyday movements. You struggle with balance, control, or sequencing in your golf swing. Your flexibility gains from mobility work don't quite seem to stick. If any of these sound familiar, then your core needs more than just activation. It needs a strategic rebuild. The 3 pillars of core conditioning for golfers with back pain. Step 1, stabilization before strength. You must teach your core to reflexively activate, not just contract. Start with drills that challenge stability and timing, like the supine lateral ball roll, horse stance dynamic with breath control, side planks with reach or hip lifts, single leg stances like one-legged holds, or the Rocket Man, aka Warrior 3 yoga hold. These movements light up your deep stabilizers while teaching the nervous system to recruit the right muscles automatically. Remember, if your brain doesn't trust your core, it will protect you by limiting your motion and power. Step 2, integration with breath and posture. Core function is tightly linked with breathing mechanics and spinal alignment. Breathing drills help reset intra-abdominal pressure and strengthen the diaphragm, which creates natural stability from the inside out. Key strategies: 360-degree breathing, belly, ribs, and back. Crocodile breathing, which is breathing face down, expanding into the floor. You can also implement re-education exercises such as the supine diaphragm trainer to help re-educate normal diaphragmatic breathing patterns, which reactivates core function. Combined with better posture, this helps distribute load across the entire torso so your low back doesn't absorb all of the impact during the golf swing. Step 3, anti-rotation and controlled rotation. Golf is a rotational sport, but before we rotate, we must learn how to resist rotation. This teaches the core to anchor and decelerate forces. This is essential for protecting the spine. You'll start with exercises like Palloff presses, band or cable resisted chops and holds, and rotational medicine ball tosses. This will be later in your developmental stages. Once you've mastered resisting rotation, then we progress to controlled loaded rotation, simulating the actual swing while reinforcing stability. This is the secret to not just eliminating pain, but unlocking power you didn't even know you had. Core conditioning equals pain-free distance gains. When you commit to smart core training, here's what happens. Pain decreases, swing control increases, club head speed goes up, you feel confident to go after the ball without flinching. And that's when golf becomes fun again. So remember, the core isn't just for abs, it's for confidence, control, and long-term performance. Part 5, swing reintegration. Rebuild your power, precision, and confidence. You've done the hard part. You've addressed inflammation, restored mobility, built core stability, and rebalanced your body. Now it's time for the most rewarding phase of this roadmap, getting back into your golf swing and doing it better than ever. Let's be real. Many golfers rush to this step. They feel good enough and go back to the range or golf course without fully reintegrating their body into their swing. And then what happens? The old pain creeps back in, power feels inconsistent, swing mechanics break down under pressure. If you're serious about long-term success, this stage is critical. So let's break it down. Swing reintegration is not about changing your swing. It's about translating your new physical ability into better performance. It's where rehab becomes real golf. This stage ensures that the body moves fluidly through all 3 planes of motion. Your nervous system trusts your body under speed and force. You can swing with confidence without fear or guarding, and your power leaks have been replaced with efficient energy transfer. It's about teaching your body how to move like a golfer again, a better golfer. Step 1, sensory recalibration, training the brain to trust your body. After pain, your brain doesn't just let go, it stays cautious. So we must retrain the neuromuscular system to feel safe during golf-specific movements. You'll start with slow motion swings with exaggerated feel and control, mirror drills to provide visual feedback, split stance and tall kneeling swings to isolate movement and remove compensations. These drills reactivate movement awareness, which is the precursor to precision. Step 2. Rebuild your swing foundation. Use the 4 P's of swing integration to rebuild smarter. Posture. Maintain your new posture from address through follow-through. Pressure. Feel your weight shift cleanly between your feet. Pelvis. Let your hips initiate rotation and unwind. Pattern. Relearn your ideal swing plane slowly, then build speed. You can also use alignment rods, foot pressure pads, and even a coach to track how well your mechanics hold up under different speeds. Remember, a great swing isn't forced, it's felt. Step 3. Gradual load and speed progression. This is key. After back pain, your tolerance for load and speed is reduced. So we use the controlled chaos principle to gradually reintroduce intensity without overloading the system. You will progress from air swings to light club to full club, slow tempo to medium and then full swing, partial swings to 3/4 swings to full release. Do this in 3 to 5 reps per tempo, feeling how your core, hips, and spine respond. Pair this with recovery-focused breathing in between sets to regulate the nervous system. Step 4. Add rotational strength and power. Now that your mechanics are coming back online, you can reintroduce power that's golf specific. Some key drills to use are rotational medicine ball slams, step to rotation cable chops, split stance banded hip turns, and of course kettlebell swings. These movements mirror golf's kinetic sequence and allow you to train the hinge-loaded release pattern used in every powerful golf swing. The key is control first, power second. Never rush this. Step 5, rebuild your mental game. This is often overlooked, but coming back from injury isn't just physical. Many golfers carry fear or hesitation after back pain. Will I hurt myself? Can I trust my swing? Am I falling behind? So here's your mindset reframe. This isn't a comeback. It's a level up. You now have more awareness, better mechanics, and a stronger foundation than before. Add in regular visualization, confidence anchors, and positive reinforcement at the range. Your brain needs to see and feel the new story. When swing reintegration is done right, you'll generate effortless speed without strain. Rotate with full range and control, feel balanced and powerful at impact, and walk off the course pain-free and proud. And that's the real victory. Not just playing again, but playing better than ever. If you want to follow the full progression step by step, don't forget to download the Back Pain Roadmap PDF. It includes visuals, drill sequencing, and recommendations to guide you from pain to performance. Click the link in the description. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips valuable, please like and subscribe, and consider leaving a comment with what you'd like to learn next. We'll see you in the next video.